Hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. This is episode 23. Last time was one of the single greatest moments of gaming history. That's right. It was unbelievable. Ifrit and Phoenix teamed up and then later fused to defeat Bahamut and quell Dion's blind rage over the death of Emperor Sylvester, who protected Olivier. Prime Ultima manipulation right there. And then we close out the episode with Barnaby's mother situation, while that is also Ultima manipulation. Ultima's like, hey Barnabas, what's going on? I'm gonna be whoever you want to be, baby. You just have to do whatever I want. And we'll make it work. And then I can pat your head and pretend to be your mother, or Benedicta, or Hugo Kupka, if you're into that kind of thing. God damn, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to reflect upon this game and its story, knowing Ultima's influence has been here for a very long time. Waloed are well aware of Ultima. Cid, right? The original Cid was even aware and said, I know what you are, I know who you are, right? In that scene episodes ago. And that might be because Cid was also with Waloed once upon a time. So it's just a mess to figure out. And it's insane because we now have a change of scenery. Ultima is hanging out in the sky and has created his super cool end of the world looking atmosphere. We're heading back to the Hideaway to see what is next. What are the next steps? Oh, also we absorbed a little bit of Bahamut's power and we haven't been able to see that yet. That happened in a cutscene. So we also have Bahamut's power, just casually.
How is your brother?
Asleep since I returned from the Dominion. Taya says he should be back on his feet soon enough. For a while, at least. She discovered something on his chest. A swelling, circled in stone.
The curse. For every mountain we climb, another rises up to greet us, doesn't it?
It's never ending. Even the sky seems to have grown tired of it all.
Things fall apart. Okay. Joshua is in the Hideaway. We actually have had the family reunion take place. And we get to hopefully get some Joshua and Clive. Let's talk about what's going on with the lore, man. Let's mesh minds for a sec. Let's catch you up on what the hell's going on. Oh my god. Okay. In sickness and in health, Jill, don't worry. We've got this. Clive has claimed a portion of the Icon Bahamut's essence. Attuning with Bahamut not only changes the elemental aspect of Clive's magic spells, but also allows access to several new iconic abilities, such as Impulse, which creates multiple spheres of light that pursue a target, dealing it continuous damage. We have obtained the power of light. Bahamut's feat Use Bahamut's iconic feat Wings of Light to begin casting Mega Flare, an immensely powerful spell that showers enemies with a deluge of searing light. The longer the spell is charged, the more powerful the results. Press circle to cast the spell when ready. Taking damage will cancel the spell. Amazing. They're like, look, if you've got Bahamut's power, let's give you wings and also Mega Flare.
Tony won't be happy if I disturb Joshua. While he rests, I might as well see what Otter has to say.
Okay. Well, who am I getting rid of? I don't have enough mastered abilities to switch in between. God damn, we are actually quite literally spoilt for choice in this game. We are spoilt for choice. Absolutely. Oh man. Odin and Shiva are the last two. Because look at this circle. Yeah. Odin and Shiva. Hey Jill. You mind giving me some of your power? So I can complete my sphere grid? Looking at this is so funny because it gives me that Final Fantasy X sphere grid nostalgia. It's great. Holy shit, okay. And we've got 2,800 ability points to spend, so I can... oh yes, I can buy a Giga Flare. What about Zeta Flare? Give me the ultimate one. Fire a massive beam of overcharged light that burns any enemy it hits. Satellite. Summon multiple light aspected familiars that attack an enemy on which Clive uses magic. Oh, wow. So if you're doing like magic burst and stuff like that, all right, that's cool. Impulse is the multiple spheres of light. Striking an enemy, deal it continuous damage, binding it to the spot, and breathe forth a plume of light aspected flame that deals continuous damage. It's kind of interesting that that's, yeah, wow. Flare breath. And Wings of Light is begin casting Mega Flare. So if we master it, it increases the maximum Mega Flare level to 4. Oh, you can dodge while charging, dude. R1 can be used to dodge attacks. Precisely dodging an attack is called a Mega Flare dodge. Executing that dodge rapidly fills the gauge too. Oh, that's good. Huh. Alright, that's awesome. That's awesome. Increases the number of hits inflicted by the beam. Increases the number of orbs. Increases the breath range. Increases the number of satellites. Amazing. Okay. This game genuinely spoiled for choice because like you can only have 3 and you've got like Ifrit's abilities here. You've got Phoenix, Garuda, Ramu, Titan, Bahamut, and there's still Odin and Shiva that isn't even in play here. It's so fun. I'm just trying to even think about what I want to do here. Every time you get a new icon, it's like, do I restart my abilities again? I think what we're going to do is we're definitely having Bahamut on. I just can't figure out which one to replace. I think what I might do, because Deadly Embrace is just so useful and so is Gouge, but I might get rid of Garuda. I'm going to master Gouge so I can put it on someone else. I'm going to master Gouge. I'm going to... I want to use Satellite. And then I think I'm going to use Satellite, and I think I'll probably take off. Yeah, that's all I'll use. I'll use Satellite, and I'm going to upgrade Wings of Light. Or master it. Garuda's going to come off, and we're going to use Bahamut instead. And oh, that's interesting. Gouge just already knows what it wants to do. Okay, and then we're going to use Satellite. So satellite's good for stunning. So Bahamut's going to be like my stun icon. So I've got satellite here and gouge. Very good for stunning. Earthen Fury for my damage. That's kind of a nice little mixture. Raging Fist is kind of cool, especially when you get that perfect block with it, but I might change that to something else. Flames of Rebirth and Heatwave is good for like the counter, but I don't know. We'll leave it at that for now, I think. We've got some very beautiful music playing in the Hideaway today as well. There we go. I'm very excited to use Bahamut.
It will take time to come to terms with everything that happened in the Dominion. But time is the one thing we always seem to lack.
And we have one Mother Crystal left, which is Waloed's Mother Crystal, just by sheer convenience of location. So Waloed holds all of the Mother Crystal power. I wonder what, like, this is really significant because what we've been dealing with is every time a Mother Crystal falls, everyone who lives there is flocking to the next one as refugees. They're chasing that. They need it, right? What now? All of Storm is missing its Mother Crystals, and Ash is the only one left with one. Where do those people go? Are they finally accepting that we're in a Mother Crystal-less land? How do they view, like, Sid the outlaw? Like, he's obviously an outlaw, but like we run around the city kind of freely, and I kind of wonder, we don't really see a lot of like refugees or people sort of cursing out the one responsible for them moving so often. You know, they're just desperately moving. I wonder if they're aware of, they must be aware of the fact that it's being caused by us. Like, that sort of would be brandished in the news. Sid the Outlaw is responsible for this kind of mess. I don't know. But I guess the citizens of the Crystalline Dominion would be witnessing quite the spectacle with the Ifrit, Phoenix, and Bahamut battle as well. It's kind of just crazy to think about. It's just such a grand scale because you have these icons fighting on battlefields, and there are huge losses on either side because of like the collateral damage. But then if they don't fight, it's like this, they're all like nukes. It's all like this nuclear deterrent, except they're all setting off the nukes, but then if they don't, they still wipe each other out anyway, just slower. Icons are basically just nuclear bombs, dude. Greetings from the Crimson Caravans. I trust you and your party gained the Dominion without further event. Should your travels ever bring you back to the markets and put you in need of additional assistance, you will find the Crimson Caravans more than happy to oblige. We might even offer a discount on our usual rates. Cursebreaker intelligence. Reports from our brothers and sisters afield are all the same. These accursed skies cast not only a pall over the land, but over the hearts of our people. Hearts already heavy from the fall of the Dominion and destruction of Storm's final Mother Crystal. For now, the realm endures, but with each new flood, do her few remaining children descend further into madness. The situation is, as ever, dire. Fresh wings shall find you on the new moon's turning. Until then, our watch continues. May the crystal's curse be broken. That's, I guess, along the line of thought that I'm thinking of, like, with, like, how are people responding, right? Especially now that they look up into the sky and they're like, what's happening? Everything looks weird now. Who's that flying guy in the sky that just created a whirlwind above the Crystalline Dominion? Quite the mess. Word out of Twinside is there's little left of the capital after the Mad Prince's royal tantrum, but what of you and yours? Did you manage an escape before the city went tits up? I trust you did, but a Stolas might be good to set Elle's mind at ease. The Mad Prince is what he's referred to now after that. His royal tantrum. That's so cool. Oh, we have more hunts. We have more hunts. You know what else is really, really exciting? We have new crafting items as well. And we also need to check in with tomes. There's been a lot of lore that has taken place that we need to check in with tomes about.
Fran about us, guys.
Won't help me get my work done. So I'm going to keep to my forge and leave the saving the world to those better suited to the task.
Unless that is.
They fancy giving me a hand shoe in the birds.
What do you want?
Okay, our next weapon to upgrade from Excalibur for a total of 2 attack and stagger increase is Brightburn. Lingered there no warmth nor smoke, but in his light did burn both flesh and bone. Grindstone and Light Shard.
No scratches, right?
Right, we've got Brightbone, mate. That's pretty fucking good, isn't it? Excalibur has now been thrown into the garbage.
That it? Fine.
That is a very cool blade. Oh, the wings on the pommel of the blade too. Wow, that is excellent craftsmanship. Blackthorn, thank you very much. That's a cool looking sword.
Thanks for not leaving me in the Dominion. If you hadn't come back, I might still be stuck there. I told Nan we flew back on the Phoenix, but she walloped me for telling fibs. Can you tell her it was the truth, Clive?
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best stock up while you can.
I hope you're not expecting me to explain these skies. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it were the end of the world.
The whole realm's in chaos.
I've had orders cancelled on me left and right, and that's from the few associates I haven't lost contact with.
But as the old saying goes,
There's opportunity in adversity. The market for sharp steel is more bullish than ever. I'll find a way to keep this place fed and watered, don't you worry. I won't let our little family go hungry, whatever the weather.
if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
Be quick about it. Well, look, mate.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Ooh.
It's better I'll be here.
Last elixir. Is it the easiest elixir to procure? No, but it is the last one you will ever need. Upon KO, automatically restores all HP, fills limit gauge, and increases attack power by 10% and defense by 30% for 60 seconds. Damn.
You'll not find a better price than that.
Wow. Sold out as well, by the way. Sold out. We use that. I don't think we're getting another one, because like these are maxed out, but it still has a price. That's cool. You better be sure you want to use that when you use it then.
Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
You look like you could do with a drink.
You know what? I think it's well overdue that we buy a round for the haul after what we've had to go through. 10,000 gil? Alright. Pretty fucking pricey, but everyone in the Hideaway deserves it after that.
As if setting our people free wasn't enough. Good news, everyone. The casks have been liberated. Here's to Sid. Oh, keep your mug handy.
I didn't even get a trophy for that or anything. I can't believe I paid 10,000 gil to hear 3 gulps in complete silence.
Seems the Hideaway has lost it.
I paid 10,000 gil for that. I expected a full party.
Sid! Look what the curse breakers brought back from Dalmekia.
It's the bread I made.
They were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I made it. I'm responsible.
I'll be damned.
Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Hey? The bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
Yeah, Otto. That's cool. The side quest that we did having like an influence on the hideaway like that. Yeah, shipment of bread. Cool stuff. Little missable cutscene there too. Twilight is what we're playing at the moment. Nice. Alright, Tomes, old chap. Let's have a chat, shall we? I expect there's big stuff to talk about.
Will there be thunder?
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. With the darkening skies,
Fear has once again taken hold of our hearts. And though I have not the power to dispel the gloom above, I should like to believe my tales help to lighten it below.
but be that as it may,
Turning our eyes from the problems which face us will not help to solve them. A mere tale cannot lighten the burden of those who must bear the weight of the world. Nice.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Hippocrates updates the tomes. Scholastic Savant.
Find for you today.
It went up almost halfway. Now, there are 4 new entries here. Heart of the Mother Crystal, Lost Mother Crystals, Gil, and Adamantite. I have been given a pleasant warning. Once we hit level 5 with tomes, don't read the gold-bordered lore entries because unfortunately they do contain some spoilers. In the same way that we read the active time lore for Ultima's Thralls, so we were given the name Ultima ahead of time. I think there might be something similar going on here, so I'm going to avoid these for now, and obviously we'll get to them and we'll read them later. It pains me.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
It pains me to not read them, but thank you for the heads up. So we'll read everything else, but we'll avoid that for now. So let's catch up on everything. So, Dominant of the Phoenix and former heir to the ducal throne, though he and Clive trod their separate paths for many years, the brothers were finally reunited amid the ruins of the Crystalline Dominion. Dion Lesage. I'm not sure if we've read this one yet, which was, he's deeply loyal to his father and is pained by his Radiance's recent cold-heartedness towards both his people and himself, a change that Dion learns was largely the result of Annabella's scheming. Dion led his dragoons in revolt against the perceived treason of Empress Annabella and her son Olivier, but was instead goaded into slaying his own father and driven to madness, transforming into Bahamut and laying waste to much of the Dominion. Goots. His latest task to journey the Crystalline Dominion in the company of Clive and Jill, using the pass to cross the heavily guarded and fortified border. And he aided Clive and Jill in gaining entry to the besieged Crystalline Dominion by having them pose as sellswords hired to protect an honest merchant visiting Twinside to trade in smithing paraphernalia. Somehow surviving the chaos that was to follow, he was scooped up from the ruined city by Joshua, who transformed into the Phoenix to effect his allies' escape. It was the truth! Barnabas Thamur. Though his nation's isolation in Ash allows Barnabas to remain aloof from the affairs of Storm, and he has oft elected to do precisely that, his movements of late would suggest that he has ambitions on the Western continent. Okay. Still got plenty of question marks. Eloise has a knack for business and a head for figures, which she used to build her business from the ground up into the success it is today. And after her younger brother Theodore awakened as a bearer, she helped him to flee from their family home and build a new life far from those who would see him consigned to slavery. So he was never branded, and I wonder if he... surely he'd be able to use magic, but I wonder if he just doesn't. porter and guard for the Crimson Caravans, the porterage firm that he runs with his beloved sister Eloise. Many beasts and bandits have eyed his company's caravans, but to date he has cut them all down. Theodore is also a bearer, but was spared the brand after awakening late and being spirited away from his family home by his sister, an act of kindness and self-sacrifice for which he is forever grateful. And Honza is an orphan boy of Bocklad, strong-armed into pickpocketing travellers by the nefarious Carstones. After being released from their clutches, Eloise elected to employ him at the Crimson Caravans to keep him from returning to a life of crime. He pledges to become the first customer of Goots's Forge when the trader becomes a fully fledged blacksmith. Ah yes, Annabella Lesage. I think that's still so funny to me. I think this one we haven't read. Empress Emeritus of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque and Vicereine of the Imperial Province of Rosaria, which she rules with an iron fist. She also laboured to see her son, Prince Olivier, seated on his father's throne, a plan that comes to fruition after she schemes with Hugo Kupka to bring an end to Dalmicia's long siege of Twinside and sees this triumph ascribed to the young prince. And the former Empress of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, after the fall of Rosaria and the death of Archduke Elwyn, she remarried Emperor Sylvester and bore him a son, Olivier. It was her dream that together with Sylvester, she should found a new bloodline, one blessed by both Bahamut and the Phoenix. Alas, her dreams were to be crushed in the wreckage of the Crystalline Dominion when a maddened Dion slew Olivier, and she was to end her life before the disbelieving eyes of the sons she had betrayed. It's really interesting to see how Olivier perished, right? Because he disappeared. He didn't, react to getting stabbed, which only further sort of reinforces the idea that was Olivier even real at that point? I'm assuming that the birth was real and that it all took place and happened, but Ultima, possessed this guy, maybe replaced him entirely, just took Olivier out and then just replaced him and just was in an Olivier suit, and then, Dion saw through that illusion and took him out. But it's really interesting to see that he just faded away, just disintegrated as Ultima decides to go see her, instead of it actually being a realistically shown death of Olivier. It's was he even real this whole time? Emperor of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, who plotted with Annabella Rosfield to slay Archduke Elwyn of Rosaria and unite their nations under the imperial banner. Together they bore a son, Olivier, to whom Sylvester was beguiled into forfeiting his throne. Much to his first son's displeasure, Sylvester lost his life to Dion's spear when he leapt to Olivier's defense in the throne room of the Twinside capital. So it's Sylvester was not corrupted by Ultima, but he was manipulated by Ultima indirectly with Olivier. Barnabas's mother. The mother of King Barnabas of Waloed, or at least an Ultima summoned illusion of her as His Majesty remembers her in life. Ah yes, how Barnabas remembers his mother, just fully naked. Ultima, the otherworldly being behind much of the tragedy and turmoil that has plagued Valisthea. He means to claim Clive as his vessel Mythos by purging his will, a will strengthened by the ties of consciousness that bind Clive with others. He unleashes primogenesis upon the world, shrouding it in darkness and turning thousands Akashic that these ties of consciousness might at last be loosened. That's an interesting detail there. So he was talking about primogenesis last episode, but in turn, that has made thousands Akashic. Interesting result there. Okay. And he's trying to prevent Clive from winning with the power of friendship. He's the ties that bind him make him stronger. We must make sure he has no friends. So that is where we're at. Oh, hang on. Here we go. I missed this one. Olivier Lesage, second son of Emperor Sylvester of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, and third of Empress Annabella. After Annabella's machinations saw the Dalmec siege of the Crystalline Dominion broken and the victory ascribed to the young prince, Sylvester was convinced to surrender his throne to their beloved son, anointing him Emperor Olivier, first of his name. And thanks in large part to his mother's machinations, Olivier was anointed Emperor of the Holy Empire, a fact that triggered his half-brother Prince Dion to launch a coup against him. It was Olivier's sinister goading that drove Dion to madness and led to his own demise, pierced through the heart by Dion's spear. As the boy died, his body crumbled into dust, proof that he had become naught but another puppet of Ultima. So, was a real boy, and then became Pinocchio. There you go. Gotcha. Lay of the land. Let's see, what are we looking at in here? We've got the Holy Knight's Dragoon. It only added this last part. Bless me. However, Prince Dion's opposition to the machinations of the Holy Empress Annabella spurred the Dragoons to rise up against their emperor in an insurgency which saw them fall suddenly and decisively from grace. Apparently not content with the upheaval caused by removing his court to the recently seized Crystalline Dominion, Sylvester Lesage chose to compound the uncertainty by installing his second son as the Holy Emperor while still a child, which is just such a great idea. He's like, oh my god, this boy will be perfect. Rise of the Worm, a rebellion of the Holy Order of the Knights Dragoon that took place in the Crystalline Dominion. It was provoked by Emperor Sylvester Lesage's decision to overlook his eldest son Dion and make his second-born Olivier, child of Empress Annabella, crown prince in his place. Seeing this as yet another victory for Annabella in her long campaign to subvert Saint-Broquois politics for her own ends, Prince Dion ordered the Dragoons into action, but having lost control of his icon, he inadvertently laid waste to the city he had tried to save, which was very depressing because Dion is such a good character, right? Really love Dion, and it's such a shame to see the event take place where he does fall victim to Olivier's manipulation, goaded into killing his own father, sending him into madness because he wanted to protect the citizenry, and it's just very upsetting, unfortunately. Something I want to read that's actually connected to that real quick. Yes, yes. All right, cool. The crystal flower. I love that we noticed that immediately, but what I wanted to read was the wyvern tail. The elegant white flower that is the symbol of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, and that is what the crystal opened up and blossomed into, and I just think that is so beautiful. That's just amazing. The crystal flower. When Drake's tail came under attack by a maddened Bahamut, the heart of the mother crystal responded by delving into its attacker's innermost thoughts and summoning into creation that which most plagued his tortured soul. The wyvern tail that represented the trust Prince Dion's father placed in him and his duty to the realm. So satisfying to actually immediately pick up on that when we saw it happening, and I love that a lot. That's awesome. Okay, I wanted to look at that immediately just to see that. Boklad is a busy market town situated on the northeastern coast of Dalmatia, where the Strait of Altha drains slowly into the gaping crater of Zemeckis Falls, also known as the Thousand Tables. Its streets throng with merchants from across the realm, each loudly hawking their wares to keen-eyed customers intent on finding a bargain. The gate at the rear of the town leads directly onto the Crystal Road, and therefore out of the Republic. As such, it is heavily guarded against unauthorized entry or exit. The Crimson Caravans is the most prestigious portering company in the market town of Boklad, led by the brother and sister team of Theodore and Eloise. For a small fee of just a few million gil, they will move anything that needs moving, and if the cargo happens to be bearers recently released from slavery, they may even consider paying it from their own purses. Leitney's Cleft is a narrow sandstone valley that cuts through northeastern Dalmatia. At its terminus can be found the vast crater of Zemeckis Falls, upon the lip of which are nestled the bustling markets of Boklad. Crystalline Dominion is a once independent state straddling the continents of Storm and Ash. With the incursion of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque in 873, its independence was reduced to little more than a pretense, but things changed once again in 878, when Prince Dion Lesage and his dragoons instigated a bloody coup. So after 5 years, Saint-Broquois dominance in the region ended as quickly as it had begun. Wiped out. We've got Drake's Tail, which is It was one of only 5 remaining in Valistea, and the largest of its kind. It was lost in the chaos that followed the rebellion spearheaded by Prince Dion Lesage, but not before undergoing a fantastical transformation heretofore unwitnessed in the entirety of history. A literal blossoming of the crystal, its shards peeling away like petals of a snow daisy to reveal the secret heart within. That was amazing to witness. Seeing that massive crystal just go poof, and you go, wait, what just happened? It just disintegrated so much faster than the others, and then to watch it reform as a crystal spire as it was connected with Dion's mental state, I think is just such a creative way to handle like making a boss battle arena as well. It's just so fantastically done. And just that cutscene, like watching that crystal fall and what it represents to Dion and his connection to the Empire, trust and loyalty as the flower is destroyed. Amazing. Especially seeing like Annabella stepping on it in that earlier cutscene. So an insurgency led by Sanbreque's Knights Dragoon, led by Prince Dion Lesage, resulted in the destruction of much of the Crystalline Dominion's capital, as Drake's Tale along with it, after the prince lost control of his icon Bahamut. One curious thing to note is that many who survived the Night of Chaos claim they witnessed the crystal bloom like a flower before its demise. The Carstones are a band of brigands who set up camp in Leitney's Cleft on the outskirts of Boklad, preying on those fleeing the crumbling republic in order to line their own coffers, forcing them to either empty their own pockets or pick the pockets of others on threat of death. And the sins of Zemeckis, I would love to know more about this so badly, because look how perfectly round that crater is. Look at that. An incident told of in myths and legends throughout Valisthea. If the tales are to be believed, mankind, drunk with avarice, thought to challenge the gods, and in return for his hubris, was met with divine retribution. The enormous crater in Dalmekia, said to have been the site of the final battle of this great conflict, is surrounded by relics and ruins which would seem to suggest some truth behind the tales. The history of this world is so fascinating to me. I want to get answers. All right, we can't read Heart of the Mother Crystal or Lost Mother Crystals or Gil even, which is kind of funny. I'm just going to play it safe and we won't read Gil, which is obviously the money in this world, but who knows? Maybe it'll say Gil was created by Ultima as a way to manipulate people into capitalism. I don't even know, so we don't know yet. I can't, and Adamantite as well. We know Adamantite is found on Ash, so that might give us some Ash lore that we're not ready to read. But we can read Primogenesis, which is a spell cast by Ultima that cast a roiling pall over all Valisthea. Very beautiful lore entry there, very deep. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, Efreet Risen is the one that was in here. Okay, cool. The Warden of Fire, whose strength resides within Joshua Rosfeld. 18 years after the Imperial invasion of Phoenix Gate and Joshua's presumed demise, the Phoenix spread its wings once more in the skies above the Crystalline Dominion, wings in which reside the flames of rebirth. An Efreet Risen, literal fuse, a fusion of Efreet and Phoenix, which like only strengthens that image we would see on the mural in the Fallen Ruins, which is Efreet with wings. And a bunch of other shit, right? Because it's Mythos, this vessel that can hold the power of all the icons. If that is what that image represents, but it's looking mighty likely that it is. The two icons of fire united as one. Clive and Joshua manifested this being in the skies above the Crystalline Dominion after entreating their icons to grant them power they needed to quell the raging Bahamut. It has the body of Efreet, the wings of the Phoenix, and a might that far exceeds either icon alone. So cool. Bahamut, the Warden of Light, whose power dwells within Dion Lesage, Prince of Sanbreque. A tribe known as the Motes of Light once dwelled in the northeast reaches of Storm, where the great city of Oriflamme now stands, among which the dominant of Bahamut would always emerge. In modern times, dominants are often born among the Sanbrequois nobility, most likely because the tribe's bloodline still runs strong in their ranks. Again, tying to dominants being chosen by bloodlines, same with the Phoenix, which is very poetic that Annabella was wanting to obviously have the son of both of those bloodlines. Goblins. Oh, this is cool. They get an intercultural exchange update based on that side quest that we did. The continued spread of the blight has driven the creatures to find homes near human settlements, making violent encounters more commonplace. Excuse me. That said, a rare few have been found to possess the ability to crudely converse and at times even cooperate with humankind. Dragons. Majestic winged beasts that are commonly considered to be some of Valistea's most ancient creatures, albeit rarely sighted in modern times. There are countless myths and legends regarding dragons, one of the most prominent being that Valistea herself was formed when a mighty drake fell from the sky, which is the coolest part because every single mother crystal is named after that. And I just think that that's so cool. Like, that's just such a great way to like have a myth on how the world was created and then to just see it still being like prominently there in like modern times. A mighty drake fell from the sky and all the mother crystals are bits and pieces of its body, or representative of that. According to the Gregorian faith, dragons were created by the goddess herself to serve as holy sentinels over her earthly demesnes, and as such have long been employed by the Holy Empire of Sanbreque in various martial roles within and without the Imperial Legion. And that's all we've got for now.
Did you learn everything you needed?
We learnt some stuff, that's for sure. So we'll have to read those other things later on. I don't know when. Sometime, I suppose. I assume we'll let some time pass.
Will we ever see the sun again?
Togo looks so sad.
Mother, save us.
Might be hard now there's only one.
Then we're all doomed.
Guys, our mission is to take out the mother crystals. Don't be sad that it fell. Otherwise, why are we doing this?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. There's talk of these skies driving men mad. Most of the Hideaway's on edge.
Well, it's our job to calm things down. So don't you go spreading ill rumors.
Primogenesis, baby.
I pity those in the villages.
And then Genesis from Final Fantasy VII comes in, and he goes, "The gift of the goddess." It's all tied together, guys. Don't worry. Final Fantasy VII is part of this game's lore. We'll find a way to connect it somehow. It's a weird sequel prequel.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
It's my favorite thing about like Final Fantasy 7 and 10 are set in the same thing because of in the beginning of 7 there's the weird thing called there's the news, and the guy looks like he's in our bed and it says sin on the TV. Like that kind of stuff's so funny to me.
It's not true.
When it literally just is an abbreviation of Shinra, like international news or something. It's not true, is it, Clive? The world can't be ending, can it? We were struggling before the skies went dark, but now? Can't imagine how we will bear it all.
We've lost so much already.
When will it be enough? It will end, won't it, Clive? So this is the interesting thing is, like, we have to take out the mother crystals to stop the curse of the crystals with this whole blight thing because the lands are being sucked up by said mother crystals, but it's also just the fact that there's this being Ultima manipulating events to go the way that he wants, so he's making it worse before it can get much better. I'm really curious about what's going to happen if every mother crystal falls and Ultima is defeated. Like, what will that mean for the world?
Here's everything we've received and everything promised.
Ooh, 1,500 ability points. Talisman of Priming, okay. And then there's another renown level. There's so much more to this renown list than I thought there would be. I kind of wish every level gave ability points so you could have a little more freedom, because we're limited by the amount of abilities we can have at one time anyway. I kind of wish that ability points were given to us a little more freely instead of having to reset all the time.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive! I don't mean to be gloomy,
But the whole world's gone to shit. Reports used to be about troop movements and chances to set bearers free. Now it's all aether floods, Akashic attacks, and plagues of bloody bandits. The curse breakers and all our other allies are doing what they can to keep their heads above water, but
They need all the help they can get.
they're counting on you, Clive. We all are.
Don't be a stranger, eh?
I like that we do get updates with a lot of our characters here.
Clive.
Vivian we don't talk to a lot because Vivian is kind of like in a couple of cutscenes and then she's like,
allow me to educate you.
yeah,
I have the details here.
If you want to sit here and go, woo, and look at everything and everyone's relationships, this is a great thing to like look at and review in your own time, but this has less of an impact after going through tomes instead and reading all of the lore, you know? But I do think this is it's still very beautifully presented, especially when it shows you who's dead and who killed who and who's next. Wait a minute. Shouldn't he be dead? Because we know that Sir Wade survived because we've met him, but Tyler's dead. Because we know that he died, and then Wade was talking about his death. Why isn't he grayed out? He's still alive. Guys, let us fuel that conspiracy theory so Tyler lives. Who the hell is this? And why is Medicine Girl everywhere? Medicine Girl's got to be weirdly important. End up being a fucking Ultima puppet or something. So strange. Dion and Dion's lover are still here. Did Dion come back with us to the hideout? Maybe. Who else is someone that I'm trying to... Yeah. Where are these guys? They part company. Okay. They've parted company, so we don't know where Yote is.
Here you are.
Now this will probably be a little bit more interesting to look at. So we've got Olivier's enthronement. So we're on our way to Bokland. Dalmekian Republic are still here. The Imperial Army. Prince Dion's revolt. So we've got Prince Dion's rebellion, the Imperial Army, and the Men of the Fist. These guys are just fucking chilling. Now, even the map changes color because the whole atmosphere of it is all out of whack now. There you go, the end of Drake's Tale.
Thus ends today's lesson.
She doesn't have anything to say though in terms of like actually asking her questions. Mid's not here, so there's no point in talking to her because she ain't here. What about you? Ask about hunts. How goes the hunt, Kupo? As if these boggles weren't bad enough on their own, I hear that some of them like to invite friends to the party. But never fear, Kupo. I, Nectar the Bold, shall always be with you in spirit. If you need more practical assistance, Kupo, then turn to Torgal. I, for one, am shocked. Shocked, I tell you, that certain members of your very own species have earned themselves a place in this rogues gallery, Kupo. Hunts against humans. But evil is as evil does, and it is every hero's duty to vanquish it, no matter how close to home it might appear, Kupo. That's cool because with Primogenesis and people getting turned Akashic, they will now be available to be hunted as a result. That's kind of interesting. Like, I'm assuming there'd be like some cool human enemies like dragoons and stuff. Let's have a look. We have another 3. Okay, not a dragoon. That's right. The 10 of Clubs. Merchants who ply their trade across the fields of Karava tell of an outlaw 5 and 20 hands high and mighty of thew who preys upon unescorted travelers. They claim he lives alone in one of the many abandoned villages that litter the region, but none has been brave nor foolish enough to narrow the search any further. If you who read this have either or both of those qualities, the Dalmatians beg your aid. Vermeer and Dalmatia, that might open up those previously inaccessible areas to the desert now. The Magith brothers. Cool, okay. A lone rowing boat has been sighted making land off the coast of Port Isolde. It is its occupants wearing the garb and speaking the language of Iron Kingdom Crusaders. One can only assume that they come to take their vengeance upon Sid the Outlaw for destroying that which they hold most dear. We advise against all travel to the area lest they think to kill or capture our members in retaliation. The Quiet Sands, okay. Ruin reawakened, unknown area, S rank. Sandbrequois legend tells of a dread dragon who set near half the realm alight with his torrid breath before being sealed away behind a magical mist by Griga herself, some sources claim, though it has long been forgotten which parts of the tale are true and which are mere myth. Recent reports of a great dragon's roar reverberating around the woodland passes of the Empire are real enough. S-rank dragon fight. And a couple of human boys. Those are some exciting and promising hunts.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fact storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Let's talk to the people we've already spoken with. Alright. But for story reasons now.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
Chaos.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Vivian's like, yeah, just a few clock towers. I'm like, yeah, I think the Mega, Giga, Terra, and Zeta flares that attacked the city was a little bit more than a few fallen clock towers, babe. It was a lot more than that, but that's okay. Waloed is the place that we've gotten the least expansion on, which makes the most sense considering it's the furthest away and it's separated from all of us, and now that we have that sort of insight that it's just been a lot of Ultima, you know, a lot of Ultima manipulation, we don't really know how the Kingdom of Waloed even operates. We just kind of see the Lord Commander and Barnabas, and that's kind of it. I would love to see more. Also, thinking back on this guy who's eaten the Rad Scorpion poison stew, who is now called the Savor of Stew, I would have thought that there was going to end up being more side quests that would have been filling out that recipe book, like going and attacking some unique enemies. But just this stew will do, apparently.
Ivan's newest dish is a masterpiece.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and sumpters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving.
Clever theory, sir.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it.
Yeah.
Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Right. Back to Otto. Before we speak to Otto, I have a very silly little thing to address. Last episode I was clamoring for this game to have a photo mode so I can go and look at cool details of enemies that I face. And my lovely patrons have just let me know, as that episode went up for early access, you know, when it does, a week early, they were like, hey, there is a photo mode in this game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This game never tells me I had a photo mode. Where do I find that? And I'm like, do I go into my settings? No, there's no photo mode here. This game lied to me. You all lied to me. Where's the photo mode? And then it's like, pause the game and press the touchpad. No, that resets all abilities. No, it doesn't work here. Oh, what's that in the bottom left corner? Photo mode. Hidden in the fucking attributes menu. And found nowhere else. And as far as I'm aware, the game never even pops up with an information to tell you that photo mode exists. And I've missed out on so many opportunities now because I'm not looking down in the bottom corner of my screen for photo mode. I'm looking at my attributes in the attribute screen. Why is photo mode not in like system settings down the bottom or something? How weird is that? So this game has had a photo mode the whole time, which is better late than never, I suppose, but there's so many battles that I would have liked to have used it in. Oh look, there's the photo mode tutorial pop up. You just have to find photo mode to get it. Unable to get just the right angle or lighting on your screenshots? Use photo mode. Awesome, thanks game. It's a good photo mode too. I get a free camera, so now I can look at this stuff. Unbelievable. Interesting, I can't zoom in. Okay. Not the butt, the sword. I can't zoom all the way in because it's still blurry even though depth of field is turned off. Can I no blur, please. Oh god. That just blurs everything. Gotcha. Yeah, there we go. Turn the blur. You have to turn depth of field on and the blur all the way down. Now I can get as close as I want. So I can admire textures. Look at that. Alright, well now if I want to look at enemies in a fight, maybe I'll actually be able to I'll be able to do that now. There you go. Wonderful. So, just so you know guys, there's a photo mode in this game. And in the tutorial messages... main new attributes. Doesn't tell you about it. It'll have the photo mode one in here now because we activated it. Yeah. So the photo mode one pops up when you go into photo mode. That's kind of funny. Thank you, video game. Well, there you go.
Did you see that?
Photo mode exists.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one? That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a cashier at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Alright, we're helping out people. Aid Martha's Rest, Northreach and Dalimil. Well, considering we've got Alliance reports, I assume that these are... It's side quests that are tied to the main quest, maybe?
How are you doing?
How you doing? Or we've just got... Oh no, okay. Alliance reports that are all main quests. Down the rabbit hole, and we can just travel to them. So, Lubor, Martha, and the Vale Courtesan.
Seen enough?
That's right.
The messages from Martha, Isabel, and Lubor weren't long. But what they lacked in detail, they more than made up for in urgency. Our friends need your help.
The messages weren't long, they just said, help!
I'm ready when you are, Clive.
Alright, well, we've got 3 locations to aid. We've also got Dalmatia, Rosaria, and Sanbreque hunts as well to take out. So let's open up our map. let's head to Martha's Rest first. Then we could head to around Port of Sold and take out a hunt. Then we can go help out Dalmill Inn, go take out a hunt. Then we can go to Sambrek and go take out another hunt. So 3 main quest locations, 3 hunts in each area. We'll start with Martha. Start with Martha's Rest. Oh, hello. Jesus, I arrive and everyone's dead in the streets. Oh my god. Okay.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue, and there's no telling when they might be back. You best keep that sword handy, Sid.
I really do appreciate how these places evolve over time throughout the story. I remember there was the one time that I was running through this area that I was like, man, they keep repeating their dialogue. And now that we've come back here multiple times, I'm like, I love how many times previous areas have been like updated based on what's happening in the world. That's so good.
Let me go with you. I can fight.
You can get back inside and bolt the door, is what you can do.
And there is a lot of roaming dialogue in that sense with everyone that's kind of roaming around here.
Fiends try to climb the walls here too.
And get me back out there.
Founder knows where they're going to show their ugly faces next.
We're starting to see we just see all the aether in the air. The obelisks that we activate look like they're spilling out aether as well.
But all our beds are taken.
My brothers. Are they? Shh, don't try to talk.
Mad dogs. The lot of them.
Still another area that we can't go to there. Inaccessible.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
The flames of war.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
Or maybe I was too slow.
More.
You're alive. And that's all that matters.
If they ain't clawing at the gates, they're climbing up the cliffs near the lift. The lads are doing what they can to keep them out, but unlike the Akashic, they need sleep.
I can't take much more of this.
Alright, to the gate.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Them not. Not a chance.
Oh, they got look at the barricades they got up here.
The barricades we've set up around the town won't hold the Akashic back for long. Might buy us a few moments to say our last farewells, though.
Clive, wounded.
Whoa. Look at all the Akashic beasts.
We deal with the Akashic first.
Horde wolf. Ooh. Hang on. Satellite, dude. Oh no, I've been hit. Oh, hang on, it doesn't cancel it fully. Nice. So it doesn't cancel Mega Flare fully. That's cool. It just takes it down a little bit. It's still going. Dude. Holy shit. It's still going. What the fuck? That's amazing. So when you get hit, it just interrupts it and then the meter starts to go down. But I thought if you get hit, it just resets it back to 0. But that's great. You can continue to get it and build it up even if you get hit. Nice.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
I was going to say they're dressed like that group, so that's not surprising. Good old Wade.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Okay.
It looked like the Guardians were going as quick as they could, but without any injured. They might make it to the cliff. Or they might not.
The lift can only carry a few at a time. If those Akashic get as far as the cliff, Wade's men will have nowhere to run.
Oh, is that Sir Wade? It is.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rosfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it,
We thought we could sneak by them, but we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
No. It's an angry tortoise.
We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Dude, Wade's back in the party.
Let's do our duty.
Wade's back in the party. Let's go, guys. God, those dodges look satisfying. Oh, how is that not a precision dodge? I'm building. Oh, shit. I was looking at the crab. I was looking at the crab. I got distracted. Oh, my God. Ah! Oh my God.
Stand fast.
To me, Flames! You're finished.
Not used to the synergy of Bahamut yet, so I'm like, my brain's like a bit, oh, I got to adjust to having that in combat now. It's very strange. Like, I'm used to having my Deadly Embrace, so I went to go and do that. I'm like, activating Mega Flare. It's all over the place.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job?
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Good luck. Make for Rhiannon's Ride, alright? Rhiannon's Ride. So we're in that part of the story where, like I said, this game does this very intentionally, where you have a moment where slow build, slow build, slow build, massive climax. You have this insane encounter with an iconic fight and just this amazing set piece, and then like a little bit of aftercare. The game cuddles you a bit, it chills you out, relaxes you. It's like, hey man, time for some story, where we're gonna have like You know, the world needs to react to the massive event that's just taken place, and you're a part of this world, so you've got to help people out. And it makes a lot of sense, and it's great because you get good opportunities for character development and development of all the different locations we've been in over time. And it's great because it's like, it's not just going to take us right to the next significant massive event immediately. The game needs to breathe a little, and it needs to let us breathe a little. So I can see that we're going to be here helping out our group for a bit in our 3 locations. And then we've also got some hunts to keep us engaged in fighting as well. Not the gobbies.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
It's over.
Oh god, Akashic Chocobos, no!
Too slow.
Oh. Just missing my timing. Guys, come on, give me a precision dodge here. Oh, just
something's coming.
The fuck, Akashic Armans. But the game just goes straight to black.
Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we?
Where's my Mega Flare? It's cancelled. Take all my shit. Just fucking Mega Flare, satellites, fucking Earth crust. Just fucking throwing a fucking moon at him. For a one-eyed bird.
Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
Solid. Akashic Plague. I love that name for that, for the Ahriman.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
Okay. Now on to the next area. Guardian's Scarf. A symbol of trust, loyalty, and undying friendship. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the duchy cannot die. Memories.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew.
Cool.
Well, go on then. It's not for me to ask him.
Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that, they're...
It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
That's nice. Little callback there. Good old Lord Commander Murdoch.
I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield. You or my uncle.
We shall be staying here for the time being, and not just for the ale. I'll have one of my men escort Oscar to Benimir once he's said his farewells.
Cool. All right. We're moving on to the next location. We're going to Northreach. Actually, we should complement each one of these main quests and cap it off with a hunt nearby. So, head to Port of Solder and be on the lookout for this hunt. Now, I think we're looking for 3 men from the Iron Kingdom in the Quiet Sands, so we'll head up here. Is there still a bunch of refugees here, or is this would be all cleared out now, considering what's happened? Yeah. Oh no, hang on, I'm seeing people. It does look emptier than it was. It's definitely, yeah, look, this... I like how this area's changed, so tents that were here before are no longer here, and there's much less people.
We thought we'd be fine in our village, but then the skies changed and the others, they...
It's all the Imperials promptly quit their posts once word of the Dominion's fall came. Lord Rosfield hired us not long after to see the refugees safely inside, and make certain those who now want in, get in.
Wow, this is a cool update. Like, there's so many areas that you can go back to and check once events in the world's change. They actually update, like, in a pretty significant manner, instead of it just being, like, nothing. Like, there's still story to gather from the world around you. And I really appreciate that. So, the Empire's decided to move on out.
Come on. Yeah!
Okay, so to the Quiet Sands we go. Now all of the world has forever changed as a result, and it's filled with Akashic enemies everywhere.
Careful. I needed that.
Okay, so let's take a look on this beach here. There they are. They're just walking. Got our boat nearby.
Straight home now.
The Majeth brothers.
The Iron Blood darkeners yet, but not for long.
Well, they've all got their own names.
All yours, Torgal.
Three at once. Not bad, but not good enough. Nice.
No more vengeance. No more war.
It's hard to focus on all the staggering on 3 enemies at the same time. It's a little bit interesting. Back to the hideaway, for I need to restock on things. A new missive has been delivered to Clive's chambers, so that's probably from Martha. And then we can head to Northreach for the next round.
Still alive, are you? Go on, then. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Right, let's see. Let's have a look at me letter. How fares the rest from Martha? The Guardians are getting along with the axes fine enough, working to shore up the rest's walls when not clearing out what few threats remain down in the reeds. Though chances are we'd still be neck deep in Akashic had you not given the Horde your firm but gentle nudge. I know you've a realm to save and all, but if you're ever in need of a quick reviver, come see us and we'll tap you a cask. And the flames burn bright. You have an uncanny talent for showing up where you're most needed, my lord. Without your steel, I fear the rest would be in the hands of the Akashic, and us but more of their nameless numbers. However, with the Horde now both thinned and fractured, we Guardians can focus our efforts on putting down the smaller packs without the worry of being overwhelmed, while Martha's blood axes can return to defending the Tor. As for young Oscar, you will forgive my sudden request for taking him under your wing. He is a good man, attentive, polite, hard-working. So as you can see, he has already learned everything he can from me. He would do well to continue his squiring under a more worthy shield, and the realm has none more worthy than you. Cool little bit of connective tissue there. Alright, time to head to Northreach.
First we find Isabel.
Damn, there you go. It's really interesting to see how these places update more and more. We've still got some lively markets here. Somewhat lively markets. It looks like some stalls are empty. There's more of a change here than there was when the Mother Crystal fell, I think.
Welcome, welcome.
So happy. Raging Fist cooldown time by 3.5 seconds.
You've a keen eye.
I'll just buy it, I suppose, because it's here.
Come back again.
I saw it.
Can I interest you in some blades of mace, or perhaps a racer to a ginger? I've been willing to trade if you got no.
He's fucking keen to sell stuff now. Yeah, the Empire isn't even here guarding the gates anymore.
If there are ghosts in the Royal Meadows, then why isn't a garrison dealing with them?
Four left for more on the captain's orders. Only 2 came back.
Goddess help us.
Stern and cynical soldier. Where do we reckon this, Ooh, hang on. There's an area we haven't been before. Morn Broom, which we can go to. Our dragon could be out in the fields. I doubt that it'll be in the Royal Meadows. Could be in the Dragon's Eyrie. It's a question mark one. And it could also be here. We'll have to check that out.
I can't do it. I can't fight those things.
But you can. You must. For me. For us.
For our little background romance that's blossoming. Oh god, Isabel's not here.
My lord. Milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultima's thralls.
Ah.
And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
Ultima's thralls. But of course.
More arrived from the capital this morning.
The 2 soldiers were carrying another.
I heard the bells. Is the captain back already?
The sunless skies portend the end. Our dragons all are flown. The world's aflame and chaos reigns, so I must sing alone.
Damn. Depression. This, right? Looking at this, all the people in like dismay like this, all hankering around being like, what's going on? This is what I was expecting to see as like a visual change when the mother crystal vanished, right? Like you'd come here and everything would just be fucked. And now we're seeing it much more because like the Akashic are directly attacking, so it makes so much more sense to see it change significantly now.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall, because they are my charges and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
Let's have a fucking drink, lads.
I'll have a word with him.
Philippe. Town full of soldiers and their lovers.
Oh, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors.
Jill's just like, wife here. I love her just like coughing, she interjects there.
I can't entirely blame the men of the garrison for losing heart. And they have provided a place for the injured.
Yes, Philippe is talking to himself over here. He's like, yes, boxes. Crates. Yes.
That thing, it took off the captain's head. Before we could even draw his steel.
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere.
They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. It's all right.
My family. They're still...
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
I have failed
We
you.
have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Master Wayne, I have failed you. It's me, Final Fantasy XVI Michael Caine. And I have failed you. Head to the town of Moor. It's even though it's so ominous, it's actually a very beautiful sky at the same time. Like...
It was all they could do to escape. They just left the bodies there in the flood.
Clive, look.
I see them. With me.
Stay down! Muhammad! You're finished!
Should I prime?
Huh.
Save your strength.
Should I prime? That's cool. Just thinking about it. Oh, they're casting Protect.
It's over. Nice try. All yours, Torgal. Slow. Nice try.
Enemy slain. Yeah, I'm really liking that satellite one. That's really cool. I'll have to take a look at the other abilities soon as well. I think Satellite is the most fun to do with like those magic burst combos.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
Nice.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dame would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit, but whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the one standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Not subtle, mate.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Lovely, mate. Why we fight? Well, that was quicker than the Martha one.
Philippe will make a good captain. He reminds me a little of you, Clive, but without all the mocks and mows.
Mocks and mows, okay. Shall we go and... I reckon we're going to head this way. We're going to check Morn Broom. See if that's where our dragon is. We'll check the first unknown spot. And then we'll see other locations if this is not the case. Alright, let's head over this way. Oh, there are some enemies in the world that are not Akashic. That's nice. Not all of them are so wild. I do really like that there are areas that we can revisit that we came to a really long time ago now. That open up with new places, but usually that is new places because there are dragons here. This feels like my spot for a big old dragon then. Yeah, usually these spots open up for hunts. Alright, well, little baby dragons is a good sign, isn't it? Now this is an S rank if this is the proper location, so it may be similar to this Atlas, where it might end up being a tough challenge for us. So what I might do is we might change around my items in preparation of this fight that we're going to anyway. 30%. Then I'll have my high potion, my lion heart. Oh, I don't know. For a dragon, this area looks pretty small, so it might not be this. Ooh, hello. Fallen egg. Ring of the Marksman. Increases the will damage of magic by 10%. Distance will only save you for as long as it takes my arrow to reach your heart. Lock of the full quiver. Oh, this is a pretty wide field. Nothing's happening though. Any dragons out here? Got 5 gil, that's good. Oh no, hang on. Here we go. The dragon is real. Svarog. Svarog. Okay. We have level 50.
This beast isn't to be trifled with.
Oh god. Oh.
Guess we're all ready.
Okay.
All yours, Torgal.
Holy shit, okay.
Torgal, kill! Nice try. Nice try.
It didn't even work! What the fuck? That's bullshit. What the fuck? My raging fist didn't even work.
All yours, Torgal.
Can't see. What? Did you hear Jill? Jill's death. Oh my god. Ooh. All right. That's level 50. And we did not have the last elixir equipped, and we probably weren't going to use that anyway. Level 50. Okay. Well, Svarog is there for us to take out at some point. I reckon we could do that. I definitely reckon that we could do it. It's just going to be very spongy and take a lot of time, but we have enough items, I would say, for sure. But it's also level 50, so I think we're going to have to come back to that one. That is definitely worthy of its S rank. Svarog, very cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get to first try that, but we got to see a couple of its moves, which was cool. I still first tried Atlas, so I'll put that one under my belt. Thank you very much. We're going to aid Dalamil in its issues and take out the hunt in that area next time as well. So let's read this missive that's been delivered to our quarters now that we've helped out Northreach, and then we'll be bringing this episode to a close. But that's exciting. We have not necessarily like a super boss, but kind of waiting for us at some point, which is very exciting. And it's a dragon too. Elden Ring, eat your heart out. And Oscar's outside for us to talk to as well. So a word from Northreach. Clive, you have the town's thanks for helping rid us of the thralls, but we are neither of us so naive to think we have seen the end of their like. Good Philippe has taken to seeing that we are prepared should the ghouls come once again calling, but I oft worry the rank of captain has begun to weigh heavily upon his shoulders. Just as I imagine, the same might be said of you and your burdens, but remember, should the weight ever become too much, you needn't stand alone. Our hearts and arms remain ever open, as do the Vale's doors. Please, Clive, come and see me and just don't tell Jill. Oscar, my boy.
Welcome back, my lord. I only just arrived myself. No one seemed to know where I should go, so I thought I'd guard your chambers until instructed otherwise.
We've got our #1 adoring fan in Final Fantasy. I love it. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of Final Fantasy 16, everybody. This was a great time to, on the come down from the massive episode last time, help out some people and get some good story content for previous areas. We'll head to Dalamil next time and take on some more hunts, and then we'll see what happens with the main story after that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.